Here's your chance to psychoanalyze yourself and your friends using Freudian theory. The one area where Freud still reigns is the split between the conscious and the unconscious. Awareness versus, like an iceberg, that which lies beneath our conscious, that's unavailable to us. What you say or do consciously can be very different from the anxiety, insecurities, trauma, etc., that might lie in your unconscious. Freud said that we can block this negativity with defense mechanisms that allow us to modify the unconscious into something more acceptable and comforting. They protect us and help us cope, but are essentially fooling us. Let's analyze 15 common defense mechanisms and always ask, what are they really saying? The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, acting out diffuses frustration with an extreme unrelated behavior. Children do this with a temper tantrum when they don't get their way. The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, compartmentalization separates conflicting ideas to prevent conflict, similar to someone holding that life is sacred, but also supports the death penalty. The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, compensation makes up for a real or imagined deficit by overachieving in some other area, like becoming a buoyant personality. Boys who do not excel at sports may become tops in academics. The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, denial reduces anxiety by simply refusing to accept the facts. Someone who deep down suspects a partner is cheating may be in denial. The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, displacement takes out one's anxiety on someone else who is less threatening. Psychotherapists are frequent targets of displacement. The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, fantasy imagines how things could be to make one feel better. You might daydream what you could have said after an earlier interaction, for example. The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, identification increases self-esteem by associating with someone or something that makes you seem more important. Name droppers or adopting the look of a celebrity fit into this category. The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, intellectualization avoids uncomfortable emotions by using cold, factual, logical wording and concepts. The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, projection decreases one's own responsibility by attributing one's own faults to others. Like when someone starts describing your faults and you realize they're actually describing themselves. The unconscious feels, the conscious defense is, rationalization justifies unacceptable behavior with seemingly logical excuses. The breakup was for the best, I failed the exam due to tricky questions. The unconscious feels. The conscious defense is. Reaction formation covers guilty, unacceptable desires or thoughts by exaggerating the opposite. A man who feels unmasculine may act overly aggressive, or someone may use humor when they feel sorrow. The unconscious feels. The conscious defense is. Regression handles stress by using techniques that worked as a child, the silent treatment, eating favorite desserts, sleeping with a stuffed animal. The unconscious feels. The conscious defense is. Repression buries pain and anxiety by unintentionally blocking memories of the events. If you purposely avoid thinking about sensitive topics, that would actually be termed suppression, not repression. The unconscious feels. The conscious defense is. Sublimation channels unproductive urges into more productive outlets. Some who are lacking relationships may channel that into work or study. The unconscious feels. The conscious defense is. Undoing makes you feel better by righting a wrong. Someone in business may cheat their customers, but then give a big sum to charity at the end of the year. Freud thought that overuse of defense mechanisms could lead to psychological problems. For example, fantasy could lead to hallucinations. Rationalization could lead to delusions. But defense mechanisms remain a good tool to help us cope by essentially fooling ourselves. Here are some questions for the comments section below. Also visit my website, intopsych.com, for more resources. And be sure to subscribe to this channel.